Welcome into the Slobberknocker Sports Podcast. We're going to call this episode 100 minus 1. So we'll just do 100 minus whatever until we figure this out. We'll just call one the 100th episode at some point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point.
What does it matter?
We'll do one. We'll make 150 the big one. At this point, I think we're almost halfway there.
Yeah, maybe we just call this 107 or whatever we're at. Not only is it past our 100th episode, it's also been 3,278 days since Mike Tomlin's last playoff victory. That is impressive, but he's going to have a shot.
Yeah, no, the football gods literally are trying to let him win one because they gave the Steelers Monday night game at home, and the Steelers haven't lost since when on Monday night?
It's 1970.
Right.
Yeah.
Steelers do not lose Monday night games in Pittsburgh. I'm hoping they do this one. I'm hoping Mike Tomlin, my boy, loses again because I'm a Texans fan. I mean, not near as diehard as you are as a Cowboys fan, but I do like the Texans. Defense is good. I do think they'll ultimately win that game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and
I think the Steelers stink.
And we have maybe the best 5-day span of football all year. We've got starting Thursday all the way through Monday. We've got the 2 college football semifinals and super wild card weekend with 6 NFL playoff matchups. So going to be a fun weekend of sports, of football.
Well, we better enjoy it because it's almost gone.
I know.
It's almost gone. Before you know it, at least we have March Madness, and then everything's gone after that.
After that, everything's gone.
We get baseball, which I do love baseball, but it's just nowhere near as entertaining as football.
No, but at least we are 2 months, about roughly 2.5 months away from March Madness, so we do have that saving grace. I'm going to start getting more into college basketball. Got some good matchups tonight on the docket. But, yeah, we've got all the playoff matchups set. So we know the NFL playoff bracket. We know the final 4 college football playoff teams. 3 of the 4 college football playoff teams remaining have never won a national championship. Miami, the only one who has ever been crowned a national title or national champion. And so we'll get into the matchups of that. We'll get into the playoff matchups in the NFL. Before we do that, we're going to go into some business here, and we're going to go. I've got 2 best things I saw this week, and then I've got some swan dives of the week for you. So
all right, let's go.
We're going to roll these. Now, this is a special best thing I saw this week. Now, courtesy of from my old high school basketball coach from Alma Heights High School. Now, they played in a tournament in Hayes back. This is, I believe, December 29th against Austin Prep Academy. Now, this team had a bunch of talent, but I guess they had a lot of non-qualifiers on there. So anyway, late in the game, Alma Heights is up by 4 here. Okay, Austin Prep has the ball. Now, we're gonna watch this. Okay, it's gonna be a dunk by this kid, but there's gonna be a charge called. Now, the ensuing madness that occurs is the best part of it. If you don't see this on the initial screen, I'm going to zoom in here. You see the coach losing his mind here. He did get tossed because, as you'll see here, this guy whose name is Nate Paul, and I'll get into who he is here in a second, immediately flips the official off.
I like that.
Without hesitation. I
like the intensity.
He flicks the official off. No hesitation.
And by the way, I don't know a ton about basketball. That kid was standing there for like 3 seconds before the guy took off to dunk that basketball. It was an incredible dunk.
Incredible dunk, and it took him a while. Now watch the Alma Heights reaction to the charge. I don't know what the this is, but this whole sequence of madness is by far the best thing I saw in sports this week.
So the coach got tossed for shooting the bird at him?
Coach got tossed. They were down by 4 anyway, so once they called that charge, the game was over. There was like 5 seconds to go. But that was quite a fun sequence of events there in a high school basketball game. By the way, then what makes it even better is if you get into who this guy is. He has a Wikipedia page. His name is Nate Paul. And if you look on there, it states he's a convicted felon in relation to false documents that resulted in the impeachment of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. This guy, he in November 2016 was listed on the Forbes 30 under 30. And then 7 years later, the staff then recanted that and said that they regretted it and placed him in the Forbes Hall of Shame. This is real.
Are you sure it's that guy?
Yes, it's that guy. He in 2022, Avery Bradley, the NBA player, played for the Celtics, sued Nate Paul for $8 million because he had started a management fund, which is why he had been placed on the 30 for 30, like a sports management fund, and he stole $8 million from Avery Bradley.
Okay.
So he's a convicted felon. He's a money launderer. He stole money, and now he's coaching high school basketball at Austin Prep Academy and getting tossed out of basketball games.
Question, though. How do you get that job?
I don't know.
No, dude. Okay, so Austin Prep Academy has to be some kind of scam too that he's running.
You mean like a what was the school?
Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore.
But like it looks like he had some players on the team. But it's got to be something. That's incredible. You are sure it's the same guy.
Look, I'm taking what Coach sent me. He said it's this
You're gonna
dude.
you're gonna have to beep his name. He does not want you saying that on the podcast.
I don't think he cares.
Yes, yeah, he does.
It says I don't know. Apparently that's who he is. Look, the guy. Look, this guy. He moved to Austin to attend St. Michael's Academy. So he was from Austin. Nate Paul was. So maybe this is exactly what happened.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that this guy. Yeah, look, president, founder, and CEO at World Class. That was the name. It sounds like Prestige Worldwide. That's what it sounds like from Step Brothers. But yes, this guy, he's a founder and president at CEO World Class.
Okay, well, interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting tidbit. The fact that he got the job coaching the kids after all that, but who knows?
But you don't. It's not the same standard to get a job at a prep school than it is at another high school. So.
Right, but usually they don't hire felons.
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I can't.
And who knows if he's a felon? This is all. I just want, for the record, this is allegedly.
Well, actually, the felon part is not alleged. That was on Wikipedia.
So he got Wikipedia, schmikipedia, as your dad says. I mean, I don't know if that's those aren't court records, but okay. Let's move on
fair.
here. I see beautiful Phillip Rivers on our TV screen here.
All right, here's the second best thing I saw this week. It would have been better if this turned into a bad beat, but the Texans were favored by, I believe, 10.5. So it wasn't a bad beat, but this. I don't think you saw this because you didn't watch a ton of the games on Sunday.
No, I didn't see the end of this one
either.
either.
So Texans escaped with a win here. We know they won, but this was the final play of the game. The Texans had kicked a field goal with about 10 seconds to go up by 2. This is the last play of the game. Riley Leonard going to drop back to throw here. He's going to find Josh Downs over the middle, and pitchy woo-woo is going to ensue. Alec Pierce, now they're going to swing it back to Leonard. Leonard getting tackled, going to throw it one more, but watch this bounce. And it's going to fall into the arms of Tommy Togia. And he's going to launch into the end zone.
Yeah.
The athleticism to keep his knee up there.
That guy, he's never going to score another touchdown in his life.
And I believe they had run a play for him earlier this year, and he scored a touchdown on a catch, and they called it back for a penalty, and then he got his touchdown after all on the last play of the regular season.
Oh, you know what? He may have been the same guy that they brought in. One of the only plays I saw in that game, the Colts turned it over like on the own 1, and they brought some guy in to try to hand him the ball off, and Stroud fucked it up and ended up keeping himself and scoring. It might have been that guy.
I think that's what happened because
that's probably why they were so excited at the end of it.
And they said he got his touchdown after all, so it sounded like they were trying to get him a touchdown.
Yeah.
But the pitchy woo woo never ends well for the offensive team. But
no, not very often.
Anyway, the Colts lose. They finished the season, I believe, on a 9-game losing streak after being number 1 in the AFC. And the Texans.
Oh yeah, I forgot they were number 1 in the AFC, so they missed the playoffs.
They missed the playoffs, and they're going home. But look at one more time to Gaia.
That just shows you how good Danny Dimes is.
Well, Danny Dimes
Put some respect on Danny Dimes' name.
He did have a heck of a year. Okay, one last thing. We're gonna go. This is the dumbass of the week, and it's gonna go to an official here. Shocker, because they have no souls. So Notre Dame taking on Cal here. All right.
Oh, I saw the reaction.
Yeah. So Notre Dame is up by 3. I think they were trying to foul here. I'll preface it by saying that. However, as you see, Cal is going to shoot a 3 here with about 5 seconds to go. They're going to call a foul and call an and 1 3. He was never touched at this point.
Right.
No one touched him. And if there was a foul, it was clearly on the floor.
Right.
If there was a touch. The officials got together, actually, discussed it, overturned the call, said it was not a foul, then got back together and overturned the overturn and said, yes, it was a foul, and 1 3. Notre Dame had one more possession here. This 3 was no good by Micah Shrewsbury, and Notre Dame gets absolutely screwed. And then head coach Shrewsbury, his dad,
he runs after the official.
He goes after the official and loses his damn mind. And honestly, I kind of can't blame him. That was maybe the worst call I've ever seen in a college basketball
game. It was
Pretty bad. But
I did see this one. This one was funny.
All right, swan dive of the week here. Okay, so we're going to pick, this is going to be Spurs and Knicks. The Spurs are laying 3.5. All right, there's 33 seconds to go here. On an offensive rebound, it's going to be tipped out to Jalen Brunson. Brunson clearly shoves De'Aaron Fox. It's an offensive foul. They don't call it. He hits a 3. Now it's a 2-point game. Ensuing possession, Spurs have to inbound. Looked like Keldon Johnson was grabbed before the inbound. No call. It swung around to Champagne, and they foul Harrison Barnes. Barnes makes the first, makes the second. Spurs back up 4, 22.8 to go. Brunson's going to bring it up here. It's a 4-point game. Okay, he's going to shoot a 3 here with 17 seconds to go. It's no good. Spurs get the rebound. They're fouling. Spurs are going to go back to the free throw line with 13.4 remaining. Now we're going to fast forward a few possessions. Now, Spurs up 5, 7.3 seconds remaining. Remember, you're laying 3.5 here, okay? You're laying 3.5, so you just need a stop. Any bucket and you're dead here. Well, the Spurs are going to get that initial stop, because Kolak's going to inbound this to McBride. Deuce McBride misses the 3. Johnson's got the rebound. The game is over. He's dribbling it out. But Brunson's going to steal this and throw up a wild shot and bang it at the buzzer. And just
it looks like there's some people in the front row that were not happy with that shot.
Yeah, I would imagine so. That is a brutal beat. I don't know what Keldon Johnson is doing there. He owes some fans some money. That was pretty fucking bad. That was number 1. Okay, so we got 4 of them. All right,
4 of them.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the NFL here now. Last game of the season, Packers are not playing any of their starters. And they're
not even Malik Willis either.
Not even playing. They have the third-string quarterback, Clayton Tune, in there. They're down 16-0. They have not scored. The line on this closed 13.5. So Vikings laying 13.5. Tune rolling out on 2nd and 7 here, finds Matthew Golden, gets up near midfield. A couple plays later, 3rd down and 1. Emmanuel Wilson to the outside, going to get a first down inside the 20. But again, the Packers are only going for a touchdown here, right? They're never kicking a field goal. Now, a few plays later, this is a 3rd and 1 again. They hand to Emmanuel Wilson up the middle. He's got the first down, but we're under 55 seconds to go. Clock's ticking. Packers have all 3 timeouts, but they're not using them. And Tune's huddling. They're going to huddle up here. So clock's ticking. You just need to stop. They have to score a touchdown. All right, next play. They give it to Wilson. Wilson's going to be tackled at the 9-yard line. And you think the game might end right here, but no. Matt LaFleur takes a timeout with 28 seconds to go.
Yeah, you don't want to get shut out here. You want the boys... You got the backups playing. Don't want to get shut out.
That's very fair. Now, next play, they're going to give it to Wilson again.
Right.
Up the middle. Okay, clock's ticking. 16 seconds to go. 15 seconds to go. All right, it's 4th down now. It's 4th down. Looks like LaFleur is just going to let the game in. Jordan Love's walking on the field. Clock's ticking out. You got Vikings minus 13.5. You're good. It's over. Clock down to 2, down to 1. Why did it stop? Oh my goodness, Matt LaFleur took another timeout.
I love this move.
And not only, you thought it was final for a second, but not only did he call timeout, he's trotting his field goal kicker out there.
Yep.
Brandon McManus.
Yep. You want to avoid the shutout. Want to give McManus a kick here before the postseason.
Please, God, don't make this. We just need a shank from 24 yards. But
I just need a shank.
You just know that's not not going to happen. He puts it through.
To block it.
He was trying to get backers from Minnesota.
Just a middle finger to a divisional opponent. Like, I'm sure O'Connell will crack up about it here. I'm sure the handshake, he's cracking up about it. I mean, it just, you don't want to get shut out in a football game. You're playing all your backups. Frankly, LaFleur was probably like, these assholes don't deserve to cover the spread. They didn't play well. I have nobody in the game. I'm going to cover the spread for our fans. There's not a lot of things going on in Green Bay. A lot of those people bet on the games. And
he got the cover if you got it where it closed at 13.5. Some people probably got that. Those numbers were all over the place this week because of motivation. I saw lines move 5-6 points after the morning games, like just for the afternoon games, based on who won and who lost. Anyway, okay, we're gonna go to college football here. All right, college football. So this is the New Mexico Bowl, and we have North Texas laying 7.5 against San Diego State. They're up by 22 here in the fourth quarter. It's 42-20, and Kyle Crum is going to scramble in for a touchdown to cut the lead to 15. The extra point was good. They trail now 42-27. A couple minutes later, North Texas going to punt it away. Nathan Acevedo is going to return this. He's going to break one tackle, get outside to the 50, down the sideline, and he is gone. 2015 10-5 touchdown Aztecs. But you have 7.5. Even with the extra point here, you're still covering. You're still up by 8. All right. Ensuing North Texas possession coming up here after the extra point. And it's 4th and 4 from the 31-yard line. Drew Mestamaker, who's now going to go with Eric Morse over to Oklahoma State, going to throw it over the middle, going to find Cameron Dorner for a touchdown on 4th down. All right, you're back up 2 scores here. And nobody's ever going for 2, right, if you're down 15. Couple plays later, 5 minutes to go, 4th and 7, Crum throws it across his body, and the game is probably over if that's incomplete, and it's caught. Next play, they're gonna hand this off. Donovan Brown from 13 yards out. It's back to a 9-point game, but for some reason, San Diego State's going to go for 2
Go
here.
for 2.
They're going to go for 2, but they aren't going to get it, okay? This is going to be incomplete.
It's actually not. By the way, I absolutely hate the go for 2 move there. They
It
always
makes
say,
no sense.
You do it because then you know what you need. No, you don't. You give your team hope. Down 8's a 1-score game.
Yes.
You keep
just
it a 1-score
keep it a 1-score game. Well, it's 4th and 4 here. Somehow, Crum's going to get out of this.
I actually remember seeing this, and he completes it.
No, it's actually incomplete. It's actually intercepted.
That's what happens.
And if it was incomplete, it would have been better, but it was picked off.
Right.
Okay? And so now North Texas is going to take over on their own side. Because of that and the timeout, San Diego State's going to get it back, and they have one last shot here. Crum in the shotgun. It's 1st and 10, 1:26 to go. He's going to roll to his left. Has to find someone, fires it downfield, and it's intercepted. No, it's not. It's dropped. It's the same guy who just picked off the last one, but he dropped that one. Now, another 4th down. If you get a stop here, the game is over. Crum looking, firing. It's going to be caught again for a 1st down. Game is still alive, but there's only a minute to go, and you need a touchdown, okay? Need a touchdown. San Diego State's hurrying up to the line here. 45 seconds to go. Now they're inside the 30-yard line. Crum again. Going to hand off here. Now fake the handoff and throw the mesh route up the middle. And they're down to the 11-yard line, but clock's ticking. 38 seconds to go. Now it's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. They're going to try to get this in with the quarterback with a handoff up the middle, and he's stuffed. He's stuffed. San Diego State, though, has 1 timeout left. They use it. Next play, 2nd and goal. Crum, he's going to sneak it up the middle. He's stuffed again, and the clock is ticking. We're down to 17, 16, 15 seconds. They're saying spike it. We got to spike it. North Texas trying to keep him out. Are they going to get a snap off? They're lining him up. We're under 10 seconds, under 8 seconds. He's yelling spike. He's yelling spike, and then Crum with 3 seconds. They're going to Superman it over for the touchdown with 1 second to go.
Yep.
And the cover.
Well, that's overwhelming.
And if you back the Mean Green, that was maybe the worst one of the bowl season. That one was pretty fucking bad.
That one was pretty bad.
That's a bad beat, Scott Van Pelt.
They were up, 22 or something?
22 in the 4th, and then, looked like the sneak there. They're going to spike it one play, and Crum gets in, and your ticket's dead. All right, this is going to lead us the last one's going to lead us right in to the NFL playoffs that we'll talk about here, so it's a good segue. So the total on this game was 43.5. Even some places it was 42.5, 42. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so there's only 13 points here in the first half. Steelers-Ravens last night. Winner goes to the playoffs. It's the last play of the half. Steelers decide to go for the touchdown here. They don't settle for 3. Mike Tomlin being aggressive. And Arthur Smith dials up a beauty. A pitch out to an unnumbered side. He's swarmed, and that is the end of the half. And the over's not looking good, right? If you have under 43.5, 42.5, whatever it is, only 13 in the first half, you're looking great here. All right? Ravens up 10 here in the game. Now, fast forward here to the third quarter. 9 minutes to go here. Still no points so far in the third quarter. It's 4th down and 1. And it looked like it was really close on this quarterback sneak. But they are going to give them a 1st down. And on 1st and goal on the next play, they're going to go ahead and run this again. The Steeler version of the tush push. They get him into the end zone. And now the Steelers have tied it at 10. And we're at 20 points now. Okay, but you have 42.5, 43.5 under. You're looking okay still.
This is why they say life's too short to bet the under.
Yeah, and now we're at 9 minutes to go in the 4th. There's only been 3 more points scored. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Ravens. If they don't get this, they're punting here, right? And you're pretty much dead. Lamar's dead to rights. Somehow gets out of it, rolls out, fires a dart, drops a dime in the bucket to Zay Flowers into the end zone.
I remember that Zay Flowers and Derrick Henry started playing football the last couple weeks.
Yeah, when
fucking idiots.
When it didn't matter for fantasy anymore.
For 8 weeks.
Okay, extra point was up and good for Tyler Loop. That's important. We'll come back to why later.
Look how straight that kick was.
It was straight down the middle.
It was the holy water that got him.
It was. Now, back to the other side. Steelers trying to answer. We're at 30 points now. You still have to have 2 more touchdowns to beat you in a game where there's only 30 points. Warren is going to run down the right side for a big gain on 2nd and 3. Couple plays later, it's 3rd down and 8. You need to stop if you're the Ravens. And Freiermuth over the middle from Rodgers inside the 5-yard line. But we're under 6 minutes to play here. All right? Can the Ravens find a stop? It's 3rd and goal now from the 1. Handoff outside. Kenneth Gainwell going to get into the end zone. And now you're a touchdown away from losing your bet with 3:49 to go. But if the Steelers get a stop, you still win. As bad as it's been. It's 3rd and 1 here for Lamar from the 34-yard line. And he's going to find Zay Flowers. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Zay Flowers.
I hate you, Zay Flowers.
Walks into the end zone for a touchdown. The extra point by Tyler Loop was, yes, again, good. And your ticket for that under is dead. Now, we're going to finish the game because I want to discuss some of this anyway, because we'll start with this game in the NFL real quick. All right, Steelers have the ball here as the highlights run. Rodgers going to orchestrate a really good drive. Calvin Austin was huge last night. What did he have, 3 touchdowns? He was phenomenal. He's going to catch the game-winning touchdown, what turned out to be here, in the end zone. Rodgers leads the drive. However, it got real interesting here because Chris Boswell, the kicker for the Steelers, is normally super reliable, misses the extra point here.
Yeah,
okay, he's going to swing. Shocker. And all of a sudden it was like, all right, now what was going to be a field goal to tie the game is now a chance to win it. So the Ravens have 55 seconds to go. Question here. Would you kick this into the end zone? They get it at the 35. Or do you kick this in the field of play here?
I would always kick it in the field of play. I don't know why people kick it into the end zone.
Well, they did in this case, and it led to Keaton Mitchell getting a big return.
I guess it always depends on the return man, too. But, kicking in the end zone 35 is like giving them pretty good field
I
position.
agree, but Big Dog last night was saying how stupid it was to kick it off to them, but I thought...
that's a great return, but yeah.
I would not have done that.
I see a lot of times that, like, yesterday in that Texans-Colts when they kicked it for a touchback, they didn't want them to return it, so...
They had a
4th and 7.
They had a 4th and 7.
Mike Tomlin and the boys should have won this game anyway.
You didn't see this? Look at this catch.
Oh, my Lanta.
Okay, here's my problem. Here's the biggest issue here. Okay? They take a timeout with 12 seconds to go, right? Take a timeout with 12 seconds to go. Right from where they were right here, I believe it was a 41 or 42-yard field goal. I'm running Derrick Henry to the direction my kicker wants it and trying to pick up a few more yards. It was windy. It was cold. The distance...
I probably do, too, but Derrick Henry's got a case of the fumbles
I know
year.
he does, but I just think...
you probably do it. Especially in Pittsburgh.
And I think
you got to do it.
So you can see here, Lamar takes a knee, but he loses like 2 yards. Instead of making that maybe a 38-yarder, now it's a 44-yarder, and you have a kid who's never kicked in this scenario, right? Like, this is his first year with the Ravens. He made from 40 earlier, and it's right down the middle. Rodgers looking on. He thinks this is over. I mean, I would too. I mean, this is probably what in the NFL, take off the pressure of the kick. It's probably like an 85% make rate from 43. What do you say? 80?
Like that,
80%?
Under the circumstances, I'd say like 70.
Yeah. I said he was going to miss it right away. I could see he was nervous. I thought he was going to miss it right when I saw it. And this thing had...
It was God blowing this ball out.
I don't know if it was God,
Steeler.
but this thing had no chance from the jump.
My God.
That thing had absolutely no shot. It was pushed wide right the whole
water
way.
The priest put in the end zone and on the goalpost before the game.
Yeah, and I can't believe they actually did that.
This week. We'd have to.
Yeah, I'll play that.
Show that.
I will play that.
Fantastic.
I
sprinkling it all over the end zone and the goalpost, and it was on that end too, which is even funnier.
It is funny that
they only did it in one end zone, and it was that one.
And Harbaugh distraught here, understandably. Also, I will say Lamar really looked like he's looked like he doesn't want to be there lately. I don't know. I can't say that I know that for a fact, but it sure feels like he wants out of Baltimore. And to be fair, it's kind of similar to last year. Like now, last year he didn't play well in that playoff game until the end of the game. He was great at the end, but Mark Andrews drops the ball. It cost them the game, right? And now he drives them down in this scenario to win the game, and the kid, shanks the field goal right, and once again somebody else costs Lamar the game. Lamar actually played great last night, to his credit. He was awesome in the fourth quarter. He played really well. I didn't think he was great most of the game until the fourth quarter, but he stepped up when it mattered, and he made some clutch throws. That throw to Likely was a big time pass, and it got them in position to win the game. I guess let's go, because we don't really need to recap any of these games. Really, we'll just preview, right? I would say we just preview the NFL game.
Let's just talk.
We'll just talk. Let's go. We'll start with this one. We got the Texans, and we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. We got the Texans taking on the Steelers. As mentioned before, it is the only game on Monday, so we have 2 games on Saturday. Rams and Panthers will play at 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern, and then the late game on Saturday is the Packers and the Bears. Then we've got the Bills Jags Sunday as the early game, Niners and Eagles as the 3:30 kick, and then 7 o'clock is the Chargers and Patriots, and then we've got the night game only on Monday, which is Texans Steelers. Texans are a 3.5-point favorite. Are you surprised that they are laying more than a field goal on the road on a Monday night against Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I'm surprised they're laying more than a field goal. I don't think the Steelers are very good. But it's a tough place to play, Pittsburgh. I'm sure it'll be cold out there, which they are more accustomed to than the Texans. But yeah, I mean, defense, as they say, wins championships most of the time. And the thing about it is, it's not like, the Texans' offense is probably better than the Steelers. They're not great by any stretch, but I don't know. I guess I would rather, if you have one drive to win the game, you go with Rodgers over Stroud, of course. But I guess the big saving grace for the Steelers is they get DK back, correct?
Yes, DK is back. He only got 2 games.
So that's very helpful. Got to account for that guy. But yeah, I'm going to say the Texans. I'm going to say the Texans win. I don't say that confidently with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers winning every single Monday night game, it seems like, for eternity in
since Nam.
Yeah,
literally
since
literally since Nam.
Basically since Big Dog was out there serving our country.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. That's your fault. Anyway, I'll say Texans by a field goal. Not more than a field goal. Field goal. I'll take the Steelers to cover with a 3 in the hook.
I do think it's funny. The total on this game is 39.5, and I think that's too high. I think this is going to be just talk about a Slobberknocker. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. I don't know. I will say this. If I had to bet the game, I probably would take the 3.5 just because the Texans' offense can be so anemic at times. But I'm picking the Texans to win the game. I think whoever wins by 3. Would it shock me if the Texans won by 2 scores? No, because I could see the defense. I could see the defense causing a couple of turnovers that lead to short fields.
And the Steelers got T.J. Watt back, which is very helpful, obviously.
Right. But yeah, I like the Texans in this spot. I just think they're the better football team. Obviously, Pittsburgh, they're just limited in what they can do offensively. Defense isn't great. And it's at home. You never know. It's the playoffs. We'll see. But Mike Tomlin trying to break the 3,000-plus day streak. And if he doesn't break it here, odds are they're probably not going to win a playoff game ever again with him as the head coach in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, probably not. They'll go 9-8 again next year.
Very, very possible. Can't believe they won 10 games this year. So, whatever. Credit to them. They got lucky last night. But anyway, all right, moving on. Let's go on
as Mike Tomlin said in his press conference, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, a reporter goes, what if that kick goes in, your season's over, and he goes, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
That's quite a response to that.
You're damn right it is. And that's 100% the truth.
Well, yeah, I guess.
They won the football game.
That's true. They did win the football game. I can't deny that. All right, let's go to the next matchup. I guess we won't really go in any specific order here. Let's just go
go down the playoff bracket. Go Jags Bills next.
Okay, Jags Bills. All right, Bills are a short favorite, surprisingly, here on the road.
See, I don't think it's surprising just because it's Josh. I mean, I know the Jaguars have played great. Now they're beating up on the AFC South teams. I get it, but they've won several in a row. They did beat the Broncos, right? That was a big game for them. They broke the Broncos winning streak, I believe. The way they're playing, you're like, oh, they're going to beat the Bills. I don't know. I'm going to back Josh Allen in this spot. I'm going to take the Bills. The Bills, the one thing they have going for them this year is they are the best rushing team in the league, right? So they have that going for them. The defense is not very good. But in a tight game, give me Josh Allen over Trevor Lawrence any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it simple in that regard. I do think that Liam Cohen's a better coach than Sean McDermott.
Yes.
He's a much better play caller, obviously. I know McDermott doesn't call offensive plays, but I expect a good game. I think the Bills do ultimately win.
Yeah, and I mean, the Bills went 5-1 their last 6 games, and the defense looked better the last 3 weeks, given they didn't play any good offenses. They played the Browns, Eagles, and Jets. But the defense has looked a little better. And like you said, playoff game, Josh Allen versus Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to take the Bills too. I get it. I get the Jags looked really good. I'm curious who the public's going to be on here. I would guess the Bills, but I don't know. The Jags have looked really good.
I don't know. The Jags have just looked so good. It's like, I don't know. It's a good question.
I kind of expected, to be honest, the Jags to be a short favorite here just based on what we've seen from them and them going to Denver and annihilating the Broncos.
I just didn't think it would be above 2 either way. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Jags by 2 or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's the Josh Allen factor. You do factor that in the playoffs. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I'm going to go Bills here too. I think this game is this game probably is tight either way too. Like these are just this is crazy. Like 5 of the 6 playoff games, the spread's 4.5 or less. So all these are coin flips, really. Just depends. If the Bills defense shows up here, then I think advantage Buffalo. If Trevor Lawrence and the boys are moving the ball early, it's going to be a tough for Josh Allen to keep up because the Jaguars defense is better than the Bills defense. All right, moving on. Next one, AFC bracket. Who's the next one on there?
Patriots Chargers.
This is an interesting one. Patriots 3.5 point favorite. It's getting Foxborough, obviously. The Chargers basically lost on, I wouldn't say lost on purpose, but benched Trevor Lawrence, didn't play their starters the last week against Denver, and they would have been the 6th seed and gone to Jacksonville had they won the last week because they had the tiebreaker over Buffalo. I get it. You're playing in Denver anyway. You're going to be a dog in that game anyway. Do you want to get hurt? No, it makes sense. What's the difference between the Patriots and the Jaguars? There's not a big difference. You're playing now against a rookie quarterback in his first career playoff start. Rookie quarterbacks traditionally have not fared well in their first playoff game. That said, I think Drake May is going to win the MVP. He's been the best player in the NFL this year, in my opinion. I know they haven't played the toughest schedule. I get it. Still playing NFL teams every week. He still played really, really good football all year. That team was horrific last year, and the only real difference is him and Vrabel, right? So to me, I guess this is tough, dude, because I was listening to a breakdown of this game, and when the Chargers struggle is when teams get pressure on Justin Herbert, right? And the Patriots are, I believe, 23rd in pressure rate in the NFL. So that specific matchup, I think, is one to watch. How does the defensive line of the Patriots fare against the O-line of the Chargers? Can the O-line hold up and give Herbert time? If so, I think this is a really tight game, and the Chargers are a live dog. If the Patriots, with whatever they need to do, blitzes, natural pressure, if they find a way to get pressure on Justin Herbert, I could see them running away with this game. Probably going to be a tight game here, too. I really want to pick the Chargers here, but I like Drake May. I like these teams. I like both these teams. I like Harbaugh. I like Vrabel, and I'm a fan of both quarterbacks. I'm going to pick the Patriots, but wouldn't surprise me in the least bit if the Chargers won this game outright.
If you're looking at it for betting purposes, I'd take the 3.5 for the Chargers. I'd actually, there's going to be upsets in the first round. I'll have this as an upset. I think that I'll say the Chargers beat them. I think it's just a coin toss game. Herbert's a little bit more experienced. Vrabel and Harbaugh, great coaches. I think it'll just come down to like one turnover either way. But I'll take the Chargers in a close one. Chargers by a field goal. I think neither of these teams blow each other out.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. Okay, let's move on to the NFC, where we've got Panthers, Rams. This is the least intriguing matchup, but I believe the Panthers beat them in the Rams in the regular season. So
yeah,
this isn't like
it is funny,
lock.
And the line was like, I think essentially the same, maybe even like 13 in the regular season.
Yes.
I think Vegas is with me. I think they think the Rams are really, really good. I think you're a non-believer these days. I just think the last 2 games they played, I know you were complaining about the defense yesterday.
Looked horrible.
I don't even know what the final score was. It's really, really tough when you know you're in the postseason as professionals and playing for like 1 seed either direction to get up for those games.
Yeah,
it just is.
Agreed.
Especially with the way they collapsed in that Seahawks game. I think they can turn the switch on when they're in the playoffs. They got a veteran bunch with Stafford and Devontae Adams, and I mean I think they're going to be ready to go. I think they're going to handle the Panthers pretty convincingly. I'm actually going to say, even though the Panthers beat them in the regular season, after what I watched the Panthers do against the Buccaneers, I'm going to say the Rams win this game by 2 touchdowns.
I
don't think it's very competitive.
Here's the thing I would say. I want to say that too. I want to say the Rams are going to win this game going away, and there's a decent chance that does happen. I mean, the line's 10. But everything we heard from McVay last week was, okay, we're playing our starters this final week. This game matters. I don't like how the offense looked last week. All this stuff. They came out and looked really not good in the first half, and they were trying. They couldn't finish drives in the red zone, which has been McVay's issue the last couple of years. Since winning the Super Bowl, it feels like they struggle to finish drives in the red zone. They have been great this year, and then the last couple games have not. I do think that Seahawks game was a big turning point for this team. Before that game, they were the rightful favorite to win the Super Bowl. If they win that game, they are the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. They have a bye, and everything goes through LA. And you have the fluke you blow a 16-point lead. You have the fluke 2-point conversion, which you probably feel like if you're the Rams that you got screwed, which they did in a way. And they just haven't looked like the same team since then. I do have questions about the defense. I mean, Michael Wilson yesterday, I know you didn't watch the game, was torching, and I mean torching the Rams secondary. I don't know what he finished with, but he had over 100 yards in the first half alone. They could not cover Michael Wilson, who is not anywhere near a top 10 receiver. He finished yesterday with 16 targets, 11 catches, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he absolutely torched him. Jacoby Brissett.
He just spams one guy. Like every game, he just spams like McBride.
He does do that, but they couldn't cover him. They literally could not cover him.
And there's also a lot of stuff that goes into that too. As far as I get what you're saying. The game, they won the game. How many did they win the game?
Oh, they killed him in the end, but they.
So I mean, my whole point is, you're not gonna. I just don't think you're gonna ever see, the Rams. I know they cared about the game, but as far as defensive schematics go and what they're doing, it was more like a preseason game. They're not showing anything. They're not saying they're not showing anything. I'm just saying they're probably playing a lot of zone. There's not a lot of man-to-man going on. Maybe it was just one backup or whoever it was getting torched by him. I didn't see the game. You would know better than me. I just don't. There's a lot of people that are going to put a lot into what happened the last couple of weeks. I put 0 into it because I just don't believe. I think the Seahawks took wins out of their sails. They knew at that point after they lost that game, they're going to be the 5 or the 6 seed, and that was going to be the end of it. I mean, it just the games didn't matter. To me, and we're looking down the line here, I think they're going to beat the Panthers. I think you're going to see the Eagles beat the Niners. I don't trust the Niners defense, especially with what I saw. They need Fred Warner back. I don't know if that's going to happen.
They
I don't
said
know when he's
maybe
coming back.
The NFC Championship game was the goal.
So Eagles. And then funny enough, and I know we can talk more in depth about them, but I think the Packers are going to beat the Bears. So I think ultimately you're going to see the Packers play the Seahawks, and I think you're going to see the Rams go to Philly. And I think the Rams will take care of Philly in Philadelphia. I think they'll beat them.
Well, the interesting thing here too is the 5 seed does matter here in a playoffs where the Bears are a 1.5 point favorite and the Eagles are a 4.5 point favorite, because if there's upsets, if the 49ers and Packers both win, the Rams will actually host a game in the second round, right?
And the Niners could. The Packers are a coin toss, obviously, and the Niners are not. A huge underdog.
I'm actually, and I'll get to that game in a second. We'll go to that game right now. But yeah, I do think the Rams win, and I think there's a legitimate shot they host a playoff game in the second round. The question is, can they win that game in the second round, which is going to be a coin toss no matter who they play, no matter where it is, right? If you're going to Philadelphia, you're going to be like a 2-point underdog. If you're hosting San Francisco, you're going to be like a 2-point favorite. So it just, either way, it's going to be a 50-50 type game. And then you're going to have to go to Seattle more than likely in the following game. Now it could end up being a much tougher road, right? If both favorites hold up, then they're having to go to Seattle in the second round, and they're going to have to go to Philly or Chicago in the NFC Championship game. So just the grind of going back-to-back road games is tough. Right. We've seen it done before, right? But it doesn't happen often. So I think they need a few things to break their way for this for them to get to a Super Bowl. But that said, that they have all the talent in the world. Puka Nacua, I think, is the best receiver in football. And Stafford has won a Super Bowl before. He's been there, done that, and he looks just as good as ever slinging it around. next game, I'm going to go ahead and pick this game first, Eagles-Niners. I'm picking the Niners here. Now, I will say this, really important. Trent Williams did not play. I think he got injured the first play of the game, right?
I wasn't paying that. I mean, I watched that game, and I wouldn't play against the you're talking against Seahawks?
Against the Seahawks. So
what happened to him?
I don't remember. I didn't actually see the play, but I know he did not play the rest of the game. So I would monitor him and Ricky Pearsall. Those are two guys. If they both go, which I think they will, I think the Niners win this game outright. This is my favorite bet of the week, catching 4.5 against a Philly offense that has been really bad all season. They sat their starters the last week. Not that it matters because they weren't in a rhythm. Like they're not like needing to be in a rhythm because they haven't been good all year. But I think San Francisco. I mean, this team was one win away from being the number 1 overall seed. Now they're having to go to Philadelphia in the first round. So, Purdy and the offense looked really, really good up until this game against Seattle.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't overcome the injuries. The offensive line couldn't hold up with no Trent Williams, no Ricky Pearsall. It was hard. And so I think if they get those guys back, I just don't believe Philadelphia is Super Bowl contender this year. Their defense is good, but it's not great, and their offense is bad. So to me, I think the Niners have a legit shot to win this. I'm picking San Francisco to pull the upset.
I'll take the Eagles in a close game in this one, but I think there's no shot that they win 2 playoff games. So they're either, you know what I mean? That's not going out on a limb. I just don't think they can.
Right.
It's like I think they have a above average chance of winning this one. That's why the line's 4.5, which I thought it would be more like 3. I didn't think it'd be 4.5. But Vegas gives them quite a bit of respect. I think they ultimately win this one, and the next game they play, whoever they play, they'll lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way they win 2 playoff games,
and they could beat the Bears.
That's the thing, is if the Bears win and they win, that's who they will play. And I think that
when the Bears did play them, they just absolutely worked them. It was pretty funny.
I agree, and they ran it down their throat.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll get run on like that, and I just don't know. We'll get into the Bears now. I don't know what the Bears are. All right. The continuity of that is going to make no sense, but that's okay. Okay, yeah. So, moving on to the Bears and the Packers. Packers opened actually as a favorite. Packers haven't won a game in a month. And the problem with this game is the Packers haven't looked good, but the Bears have just lived on the edge all season. How many fourth quarter comebacks has it been? Like 6 multiple times where they
Shout out Caleb. Shout out Caleb. What a star.
He was so good on those last drives, wasn't he?
What a star.
Handing the ball off to DeAndre Swift was really impressive. No, but here's the thing. If you watch the Packers play the Bears this year, they played twice. I know they split. How many quarters did the Bears actually win? I would say 1. The fourth quarter of the second game. And they really didn't even win that quarter. They just recovered an onside kick and tied the game and then won on the deep shot in overtime to DJ Moore. But the reality is the Packers were the better team against Chicago for 8 of 8 quarters. They beat them 8 of 8 quarters and just couldn't recover an onside kick. Dominated them the first time, dominated them the second time. And the second time, Jordan Love went out of that game. Malik Willis played most of the second half. And they were the better team. It was 16-6 with 2 minutes to go in that game. Chicago had not scored a touchdown the entirety of the game. And if Romeo Doubs recovers an onside kick, they win that game by a touchdown and it's over. And by the way, I also win my fantasy football league if he recovers that onside kick. But that's a point for another day. That said, I don't trust either of these teams. This is a perfect matchup for not having any idea who's going to win this game. This is a complete coin flip. I guess just because of what I've seen when these two teams have played, I'm going to take the Packers. I think Green Bay wins a very tight game. Chicago too many times falls behind and relies on coming back late, and it's just hard to do that in the playoffs. And once again, Jordan Love has played in the playoffs. He's won in the playoffs. Not a ton, but he's won a few games. Caleb Williams' first playoff start. Okay, big difference. So
I think
I'm going to take the Packers.
I'm going to take the Packers. Simply because I don't think the Bears are very good. I think Bid Johnson helps them a lot with the play calling. They are running the ball a lot better. The only thing that scares me is the Packers defense is so much worse, it seems like, since the beginning of the year without Micah Parsons as well.
Can't get pressure.
I don't think can't get pressure. So I'll say Man, they haven't won a game since they've lost Micah, huh? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take the Bears by a field goal. Just to spite you. I'll take Caleb and the boys.
You traitor.
I would rather the Packers win. Honestly, I don't dislike the Packers. But the fact they've lost 4 in a row and the defense looks so bad, I'll just take the Bears at home. I agree. In those 2 games, the Packers have looked far better.
Way better.
And I genuinely think they'll win. But for entertainment purposes, I'll take the Bears.
By the way, didn't Micah Parsons get injured in that first game? So he really didn't play in that game against Chicago. I believe that's true. Yeah, Green Bay was up 14-3 at halftime the first time, and they were up 16-6 in the fourth quarter of the second game. So they really did dominate Chicago. Okay, just quickly here, who are you picking to go to the Super Bowl and to win the Super Bowl from each team?
Sticking with my picks.
Wow. So you're going Rams and what? Bills?
Rams, Bills.
Rams, Bills, and the Rams beat the Bills in the Super Bowl? If the Rams play the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Actually, no. At the beginning of the year, I had the Bills beating the Rams in the Super Bowl.
But you picked the Rams, right?
No, I'm going to take the Bills to do it. Just to stick with my pick from the beginning of the year.
Oh, I thought you picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
No, well, we'd have to go check the tape. I'm 90% sure I said the Bills finally win the Super Bowl. Said something about Mahomes and them being done at the beginning of the year.
Because I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl too. But
did you?
Yeah, but I picked them to beat the Lions in the Super Bowl.
Got it.
Yeah. That's who I had. I had Bills Lions.
Right. Yeah, so I'll go I'll say the Bills, which I don't believe. If they play the Rams, I don't think they will. I think they'll lose another one. But I'll just stick with what I said at the beginning of the year, and I'm pretty sure I said Bills Rams.
But here's the funny
Bills winning.
Here's the funny thing though, just scanning the AFC bracket as I look at it again. If the Bills play any of these teams straight up, would I pick another team over them? I don't think I would.
Right.
I would not pick them. I wouldn't pick the Patriots. I wouldn't pick the Chargers. I wouldn't pick the Jags. I wouldn't pick the Texans. I wouldn't pick the Steelers, and definitely wouldn't pick the Broncos. So I'm going to stick with the Bills winning the Super Bowl too, even though it makes no sense. This is probably the worst Buffalo team Josh Allen has gone into the playoffs with.
That's why they're going to win.
And maybe this is the year that they finally get it done. So I'm going to stick with my pick too. I'll say the Bills win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say I don't know why. I don't know why. I just have a feeling I think San Francisco gets to the Super Bowl. I think San Francisco upsets Philly. I think they upset whoever they play after that, and I think they get to a Super Bowl. And I think it's Bills-Niners in the Super Bowl, and I think the Bills beat them. That's my prediction. And Shanahan, once again, has heartbreak in the Super Bowl. He can't get it done. But that's my pick. Okay. Quickly.
Let's go to college football.
College football playoffs.
So, obviously, we all saw what happened in those other games. I mean, 2 good games, right? With
Ole Miss and Georgia on the walk-off field goal.
Miami, Ohio State was a good game.
Miami, Ohio State was good as well.
Texas Tech, Oregon, horrible. Oregon beat the shit out of Texas Tech, and then Indiana just beat the fucking wheels off of Alabama. Man, going into these matchups, I really don't know Thursday and Friday. Miami versus Ole Miss. They got Miami as a 3-point favorite opening up, or that's what it is now.
I think it opened 3.5. Now it's 3.
Man, it's just hard for me to, after Chambliss and them did that, Georgia, it's hard for me to pick them to beat. I don't know. I don't know if they still have enough juice to do it. Miami surprised people in beating A&M. I mean, I think most people thought A&M would win the game at home just because they were at home. And Miami on a neutral, I think people may have taken Miami.
Yeah.
But anyway, Miami gets a huge win over Ohio State. Man, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I will take, I don't know, man. I like Chambliss a lot. And I just don't. Miami's doing a good job of not letting Carson Beck decide games.
Yeah.
They got very fortunate to get up 14-0 against Ohio State, right? That's what they needed. That pick 6 to get them up 14-0.
Swung the game.
And then kind of just, holding on. The defense played just well enough. Carson Beck did make some big throws on third downs. I mean, they had some big conversions, and the play calling for Miami was really good in that game.
Yeah,
Sneaking
it was.
backs out of the backfield to get 4 or 5 yards in certain situations. I guess I'm going to go, man, I'm going to go, come get a treat, Archie. I'm going to go Ole Miss.
I thought you were for sure going to take Miami.
I just think they're almost a team of destiny now with this Lane Kiffin deal. I think the football gods punish Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm going to go with the better quarterback in each matchup. And for that reason, I think I'm going to go Ole Miss and Indiana. I just think, when it comes down to it, would I rather have Chambliss or would I rather have Beck? I want Chambliss every day of the week.
Yeah, he's like I think I told you and I was telling other people, it's like everybody talking about these quarterbacks coming out, and apparently it looks like they broke news today that Chambliss
he might get another
year. They think he's gonna get it.
Okay,
and heard he's already in agreement with Ole Miss to stay.
I saw that. I saw if he
apparently
gets his
people
year.
think he's gonna get it. I don't know. Just being at a D2 and thinking about how Pavia got those extra years, I think they're going to give it to him. I don't know for sure. Do. I think they will. And then Oregon, Indiana, I'm with you. I just think Indiana is such a disciplined football team. And when you look at both their defenses, they're both very similar. They're good. I just think you go with the Heisman Trophy winner and you go with dope. Like Lanning's a great coach. Don't get me wrong. Signetti, just the discipline his teams play with. I mean, it's like Oregon, you could see picking up costly penalties or doing something. It's like Indiana's not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not. That's their brand. They're not going to jump off sides. They're not going to do anything stupid. And I think ultimately I think that's a very physical, like 20-17 game or something that Indiana 21-17, something like that Indiana wins. Low scoring.
You think they're a plus 130 favorite to win the whole thing right now? You think that's fair? You think that's a fair number?
Probably, because I do ultimately think whoever they play in the national championship, they'll beat.
Yeah.
I think they'll be favored by at least 6 against those other two teams.
Yeah, they'd probably be favored
5.5, 6 points.
I would say Miami, depending on what happens in the semifinal, right? But I would say they're probably a 5-point favorite against Miami and like a 7-point favorite against Ole Miss.
Right.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
But weirdly, I think Ole Miss is a worse matchup for them. I just think Miami against it, like Miami can't score like Ole Miss can score, and I don't know if Indiana, like if Ole Miss is able to open it up and score on Indiana, can Indiana keep up? I don't know. I don't know that they can. But I would love nothing. I'm rooting for Ole Miss to win the whole thing. I stand to win something if Miami wins the whole thing, but I'm rooting for Ole Miss. I don't know what I'm doing in our pick'em, because if I go 3 for 3 in the ball pick'em, I win, and I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Fucking snakes.
I know I'm going to take Indiana, but I don't know who I'm taking. I can't decide whether I'm going to take Ole Miss or Miami.
You might as well just go. Well, it just depends what you think is going to happen in that game, because I mean, the thing about it is Jared in the bull pick could still win too. So you might as well just go with the picks that you think, because he could easily be on Miami or Ole Miss. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just trying to mirror me, because I think he's actually has.
No, I'm just trying to get it right, because
No, because you go 3 for 3, you win.
So I'm just trying to get it right.
You're just trying to get it right.
I'm just picking what I think is the best odds.
That's a good point. Because if you go 3-0, you win. If I go 2-1 and you go 2-1, I would have to look at the numbers, but I would assume I would probably
I don't know how much I'm
win,
down.
because I'm up 16. You probably have like several 35.
Am I in second or third?
No, you're 16. You're in third.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he's 15 points behind me. You're 16 points behind me. Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But yeah, I don't know. Ole Miss, Miami, and then Oregon, Indiana. I mean, both. Like I said, I'm gonna go Indiana in that one. The other one, I'll probably just go Ole Miss, because I don't want to root for Carson Beck in Miami, and I just genuinely think of what I saw Ole Miss in that playoff against Georgia. I think Georgia's a better team than Miami.
Yeah.
Just for them to win the game that way. And Kirby Smart knew he was in trouble. I mean, he's faking punts, when Kirby Smart. Now listen, credit to him for the fake punt. He's a great fake punt under the circumstances. But then he went for it on his own, 35, which Georgia never does. It's like, to me, he thought that he was out. And even Cristobal was like, out of all the teams he played this year, and I don't think obviously you don't want to give someone bullets and more material. You're not going to say they're not good, but he goes, Ole Miss is the best team we've played this year.
Yeah.
He's like, and he was adamant about it. It's like, just look at the tape. They're the best team. So I don't know. We'll see. Then the other we got transfer portal stuff. We'll see. Obviously, Tech got whatever's in Sorsby.
I don't know how good he is. I know he's good.
I don't think he's that great, but I'll tell you, as far as portal stuff goes, it's him and Levitt that have the same 5-star rating. So
I would take Levitt over him.
I would rather have Levitt too, but apparently there's a lot of people I was reading that think Levitt was virtually kicked off Arizona State's football team. There's a ton of people that think that.
I believe that.
For playing pickup basketball and fucking up his ankle. That's why he had been hurt.
Well, I believe that.
And
he seems like a little
Kenny Dillingham
shithead.
told him to get fucking lost. So apparently I think a lot of people were wanting just Sorsby was like, or whatever his name was the safer, or they thought option. Do I think his top end game's as good as Levitt? No, but you're probably just not dealing with the off the field stuff.
Yeah.
And then the last big piece to fall is Cam Coleman, who like is visiting
Auburn receiver.
Yeah, he went to USC. He's going to visit Texas. I think he did visit Texas. He went to USC.
I bet he goes to Texas.
USC, Texas Tech, and Texas A&M. He was originally committed to A&M at a high school, and then all that stuff happened. I think that's when Jimbo left, so he went to Auburn. It depends what he wants. If he's looking to put up numbers and potentially win a national championship, he'll go to Texas. I genuinely believe in the portal. Texas Tech will throw the most money at him because that's just what they do in the portal.
Yeah, possible.
I mean, that's what. And Cody Campbell's already decided that he already paid Sorsby whatever $5 million, and he is on the record saying he'll pay Coleman the most amount of money. And Coleman's just going to be a 1-year rental too because he's going to leave after this year to the draft.
Yeah,
he's going to be the number one receiver off the board. So is he trying to make the most money? Is he trying to win a national championship and put up big numbers with Arch? It just it all depends.
I think he goes to Texas. I also think Texas is going to throw a shitload of money at him too, which they obviously will. They will regardless. But they just decided they weren't. Parker Livingston entered the portal, which was weird. And apparently he wanted more money, and they said no. And I wonder if they're throwing it at a bunch of portal guys right now, just because that's a guy that I thought they for sure would keep, because he was pretty good this year as a true freshman. He was a 4-star and had a good year with Arch. But yeah, that's
we'll see
gonna
what happens.
Be interesting. Anything else? We didn't go over coaching fires. Do we want to even mention any of that? Or are we good?
No, we can talk about it at the end of the season and
Yeah.
see where people are going to go. Because I don't think anybody's going to hire anybody in the next. Well, they might hire like some of the lesser ones, but
Surprised Pete Carroll got fired after one
no,
season.
God, no. I don't know why they hired Pete Carroll. I said that I actually said that I thought it was going to last 1 year because I think Tom Brady just didn't have the coach he wanted to hire,
rental.
so he just gave Pete like a 1 year, just like, hey, you want to come coach? He's like, sure, coach team. Like, unless they made the playoffs, like he was always getting fired.
Does Pete ever coach again somewhere else?
Probably not. He's old, man. I don't know
He's
why.
not good either.
I don't know why he would. But the Raiders might hire Stefanski. That would make sense.
No, that is actually what I heard is the favorite. So, all right,
Arch is ready to go.
That's all we got. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and we will catch you guys next week.